A helpless and desperate father, his children were at home when an airstrike targeted their building. Civil defense volunteers were already at the scene where a voice of a young boy is heard underneath the rubble. Why don't you give me water, he asks. His father, HAMDO MANSOUR, tries to calm him. Don't be afraid, I am here, he tells him. Minutes later, Mohammed emerges shocked but alive. Those who survive airstrikes are often rescued by civil defense volunteers, otherwise known as the White Helmets. It is a dangerous job. A white helmet himself, Abu Hassan now takes care of his grandchildren after his son, also a volunteer, was killed in a barrel bomb attack while saving others.
I kept looking for my son at the site of the attack. They told me there was a body near the sidewalk. When I saw it, I immediately knew it was my son. I can't explain what I felt.
The White Helmets are also being directly targeted. Their headquarters, their ambulances have been hit by airstrikes. And despite the risk, they rush to the scene of an attack, knowing that more bombs may fall on the same location.
The worst experience I had was when we were helping civilians trapped under the rubble. My friend was martyred and I was injured, and I couldn't do anything to help others after that.
NAJEEB was a construction worker before the war. Now he is among the 3,000 White Helmets who operate in opposition territories across Syria. It has been praised for its humanitarian role, but the organization has had to defend itself against the campaign that its supporters say was orchestrated by the Syrian government. It has been accused of being linked and influenced by Western governments who are pushing for regime change. For many Syrians living in rebel-held territories, the White Helmets are heroes. HAMDO Mansour says he wouldn't be sitting with his son today if it wasn't for the volunteers.
There would be a tragedy if they are not around. If it wasn't for the volunteers, my child would have been dead.
His son was pulled out of a rubble 2 years ago and still remembers that day.
I was suffocating. We were about to die and the civil defense saved us. If it wasn't for the civil defense and God, we wouldn't have gotten out.
Praised on the front line, they say they have saved more than 62,000 lives, but they lost more than 140 men doing so, a statistic that will likely rise as long as the war continues. Zana Khudr, Al Jazeera, Gaziantep.